Hey there, English learners. Have you ever wanted to talk about your weekend, but you just couldn't find the right words? Well, today we're going to fix that, and it's easier than you think. Get ready to describe your perfect Sunday. Oh, hey Jake, good morning. This coffee is exactly what I need this Monday morning, you know?
Anna, good morning to you too. Yeah, totally. I feel that. Mondays always hit a little different, don't they? But hey, you look like you had a good weekend. How was your Sunday?
Oh, my Sunday? It was great, actually. You know, I usually make Sundays all about relaxing and getting ready for the week. What about you? What do you usually do on a Sunday?
That's a good question. My Sundays are pretty consistent, I think. I definitely like to sleep in. Not wake up early like on a weekday. I usually wake up around 9 or 9:30 a.m. How about you? Do you sleep in too?
Oh, definitely. Sleep in is key for me on Sundays. I mean, during the week, my alarm goes off so early, right? So on Sunday, I usually wake up without an alarm, maybe around 8:30 or 9 a.m. Not super late, but later than usual. Then I usually stay in bed for a bit, maybe scroll on my phone. What do you do right after you wake up?
Good question. After I wake up, I usually go to the kitchen right away. I make some coffee, a big cup, and then I often read the news on my tablet. I just sit at the kitchen table, sip my coffee, and read. It's a nice, quiet start to the day. It helps me to slowly start my brain, you know? What do you do after you get out of bed?
Oh, that sounds so peaceful. I love that idea of a quiet start. For me, after I get out of bed, I usually make a light breakfast, maybe some toast with avocado or just a bowl of cereal. I also make coffee, of course. Then I often sit by the window and just look outside while I eat. It's a simple start, but I really enjoy it. So that's my typical Sunday morning. What did you do last Sunday morning specifically?
Last Sunday morning. It was pretty typical, actually. I definitely slept in until about 9:15 a.m. Then I made my coffee and sat at the kitchen table to read the news. My cat Leo jumped on my lap, which was nice. I had some quiet time before the day got busy. What about you? How was your morning last Sunday?
Oh, that sounds lovely, especially with Leo. My morning last Sunday was actually a little different. I still slept in, but not as late. I woke up around 8 a.m. because my neighbor's dog was barking a bit early. But after that, I decided to do something different. Instead of just eating breakfast, I went for a short walk around the park near my apartment. It was a beautiful day. Then I came back and made my toast and coffee. So a little more active than usual for a Sunday morning. It was nice though.
Oh, wow. That's a great change of pace. A walk in the park sounds refreshing. So after the morning, what do you usually do around noon or in the early afternoon on a typical Sunday? Do you get into any chores or is it all relax?
Okay, so this is where it gets real. Yes, sadly, I usually do some chores around noon. I try to get them done quickly so I can relax later. My typical Sunday afternoon includes doing laundry, cleaning the kitchen a bit, and maybe tidying up the living room. Just the necessary things, you know? What about you? Do you have Sunday chores?
Oh, I totally get that. Chores are inevitable, right? My typical Sunday afternoon usually starts with a late lunch around 1 p.m. After that, I also do some chores. I usually clean my bathroom. I try to do that every Sunday. And I also do laundry. Sometimes I even go to the supermarket for groceries for the week. It's not fun, but it needs to be done. So what about last Sunday afternoon? Did you do your usual chores?
Yeah, chores are definitely not my favorite part of Sunday, but you're right, they have to get done. Last Sunday afternoon, I actually managed to avoid most of them. I did do one load of laundry, but I pushed the kitchen cleaning to Monday morning. I know, that habit. Instead, I met a friend for lunch, which was really nice. We went to that new sandwich place downtown. So less chores, more fun. What about you? Last Sunday, did you go to the supermarket?
No way. You avoided the chores? That's amazing. I wish I could do that. My last Sunday afternoon was, pretty typical. I had a quick lunch and then I definitely did my usual chores. I cleaned the bathroom, did 3 loads of laundry, yes, 3, and then I went to the supermarket around 3 p.m. It was so crowded, which I hate, but I needed food for the week. So my afternoon was not as fun as yours, that's for sure.
Oh, Jake, 3 loads of laundry and a crowded supermarket? That sounds like a lot of work. You definitely deserve a prize for that. So after all the chores in the supermarket, what do you usually do to relax on a Sunday evening? Like, what's your wind-down routine?
Okay, so this is the best part of Sunday, right? After all the chores are done, I usually make a simple dinner, nothing fancy. And then I like to just relax on the couch. I often watch a movie or a TV show. Sometimes I just put on some music and, just chill. It's all about getting ready for the week ahead by doing nothing. That's my typical Sunday evening. What about you? How do you usually relax?
Oh, I completely agree. The evening is the best part. My typical Sunday evening is very similar. I usually cook a nice dinner, sometimes a little more elaborate than on weekdays, just to enjoy the process. Then, after dinner, I absolutely love to read. I have a comfortable armchair in my living room, and I'll just sit there and read for an hour or two. It's my favorite way to unwind and clear my head before Monday. And sometimes, if it's a really good book, I'll read even longer.
That's such a good point. Reading is a fantastic way to relax. I used to read more often on Sundays, but I've gotten into watching documentaries lately. So last Sunday evening, I definitely did my typical routine. I made some pasta for dinner, and then I watched a really interesting documentary about space. It was super cool. And then I just went to bed around 10:30 p.m., ready for Monday. How was your evening last Sunday? Did you get to read?
Oh, a space documentary sounds really interesting. I should try that sometime. Yes, last Sunday evening was perfect for me. After my light dinner, I made a salad because I had a big lunch with my friend. I grabbed my current book. It's a mystery novel, and it's really good. I read for almost 2 hours. It was so engrossing. And then I went to bed around 10 p.m. I felt so refreshed and ready for the week. It was a really good Sunday all in all.
That sounds like a perfectly balanced Sunday, Anna. Less chores, good lunch with a friend, then a relaxing evening with a good book. I'm a little jealous, honestly. It sounds like you really know how to make the most of your Sundays to recharge. My Sundays are more about getting things done so I don't have to worry during the week. Maybe I need to learn from you and add a bit more pure, relaxed time.
Well, it's a balance. Sometimes I do more chores. Sometimes I try to be a bit more spontaneous. But I always try to set aside some time to just relax and not think about work. It makes such a difference for Monday morning, don't you think? Like, if you don't relax enough, Monday feels even harder.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. If you don't use Sunday to truly relax and recharge, Monday can feel like a real shock to the system. I think my mistake is sometimes I try to cram too many errands or chores into Sunday. Maybe I should spread them out a bit more during the week, or at least dedicate a specific block of time for them and then switch off completely. You've given me some good ideas for my next Sunday, Anna.
Oh, I'm glad. See, we're helping each other. It's like for me knowing I'm going to sleep in and have a slow morning, then maybe do some light chores, and then definitely read in the evening. That whole routine just helps me feel prepared. Even if one Sunday is a little different, like last Sunday with the walk, the general idea is still there. It's about finding what works for you to really feel rested.
Totally. It's about building a routine that supports you. And even the act of planning it, like you just described, can make it feel more relaxing. I think for me, I need to really prioritize that quiet time after my coffee. Sometimes I get distracted by emails or social media right after I wake up, and that breaks the peaceful start. I need to get back to just sitting and reading the news like I used to, or just sitting quietly.
Yes, totally. No screens for the first hour. That's a good rule. I try to do that too. It really helps you feel more present, doesn't it? And then when you finally tackle those chores, you feel a bit more energetic. I mean, nobody loves doing laundry, but at least you're not doing it on zero energy after a rushed morning.
Exactly. And it's funny, even the supermarket trip feels less awful if I've had a really good, relaxed start to the day. It's all connected, I guess. A good Sunday really does set the tone for a good week. I always feel so much better on Monday if my Sunday was well spent, whether it was active or super lazy.
Absolutely. It's like charging your phone, right? You need to fully charge it before a long day, or it's going to die halfway through. Our bodies and minds are the same. We need that full recharge. And for me, that often means a good long session of reading in my comfy chair, and maybe a little bit of just doing nothing, looking out the window.
I love that analogy. Charging your phone. That's such a good way to put it. And I think the key is finding what charges you. For me, it's that quiet morning with coffee, and then later just watching something mindless or listening to music. Not always a book, but definitely something that lets my brain switch off.
Yeah, exactly. It's personal, and it's okay if it changes too. Sometimes I feel like being more active, like last Sunday with the walk. Other Sundays, I just want to stay inside and be super cozy. The important thing is just to listen to what you need. It's your day to prepare for the week.
That's a fantastic point, Anna. Sundays are our own little self-care day before the hustle and bustle begins again. And I think we both agree that even if we do chores or go to the supermarket, the goal is still to feel recharged by the end of it.
No stress Sundays.
No stress Sundays. That's the motto. I'm totally going to try to incorporate some more of your quiet time ideas, Jake. Maybe I'll try to just sit and enjoy my coffee without looking at my phone next Sunday. It sounds really good.
Definitely try it. It makes a huge difference. And I'm going to try to swap some of my heavy chores for some extra reading time or just pure relax time. Thanks for the inspiration, Anna. This was a great coffee chat.
You too, Jake. Always good to compare notes. Helps me think about my own routine too. Have a great week.
You too, Anna. See ya.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this lesson and finding it helpful, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow, and we'd love to have you as part of our learning community. New videos every single day. All right, fantastic conversation between Anna and Jake. Let's break down some of that great vocabulary and those useful expressions they used. Get ready to add these to your English toolbox. First up, to wake up. This means to stop sleeping and open your eyes. You can say, I wake up early, or I wake up late. For example, Anna said, I usually wake up around 8:30 or 9 a.m. Simple, right? Next, to sleep in. This is a lovely phrase. It means to sleep until later in the morning than you usually do. Jake said, I definitely like to sleep in. So if you usually wake up at 6 a.m., but on Sunday you wake up at 9 a.m., you slept in. It's a very common phrase for weekends. Our third phrase is chores. Chores are regular household tasks or jobs. Things like cleaning, doing laundry, or washing dishes. Anna said, I usually do some chores around noon. Nobody loves chores, but they're part of life, and now you know the word for them. Then we have to relax. This means to rest and do something enjoyable, not work, to become less tense or anxious. Jake said, I like to just relax on the couch. It's so important to relax, especially on Sundays, right? Next, to read. This means to look at and understand the meaning of written words. Anna said, I absolutely love to read. You can read a book, a newspaper, an email, anything with words. What do you like to read? And finally, supermarket. This is a large store that sells food and other household items. Jake mentioned, sometimes I even go to the supermarket for groceries for the week. It's where you buy your weekly food. Very useful word. Here's a quick bonus tip for you. When you're talking about your routine, use usually or often to show it's a regular activity. For example, I usually wake up late on Sundays, or I often read a book in the evening. This makes your English sound much more natural. That was a fantastic chat about Sunday routines. You heard Anna and Jake use the present simple for typical actions and the simple past for last Sunday's events. You also learned some great new words and phrases. Now it's your turn. What is one thing you usually do every Sunday? Tell us in the comments. And that's it for today's episode. Hit subscribe if you want to keep learning English the fun way. I'll see you in the next lesson.